Alan Fels, whom you know, the former head of Australia's Competition and Consumer Commission, spoke of the essential ingredients of a successful system. One element of that system is what Alan called co-producers. These are institutions outside the walls of the competition authority whose contributions are vital to its success. Professional societies, courts, universities, business media, consumer groups. Alan's basic observation is that when you look across all successful institutions, you will find major additions to effectiveness that come from these systems. When I look, again, inspired by the film, to think about what this professional society has contributed, I think of three major additions to the Brazilian system. First, there's the role of the convener, the institution that creates a trusted forum in which all participants in the system can meet and discuss the operation of the system and its improvements. Across the entire spectrum of participants, it builds understanding. It builds trust. There is the indispensable human dimension that makes it possible to have a constructive conversation. If I understood the video, Vinicius used this term, the constructive conversation that promotes understanding as a basis for forming consensus. And from the consensus comes the possibility to act as a powerful advocate for the larger society. I go back and think of the moment 5 years ago when the fundamental reforms to Brazil's system took place. These were breathtaking reforms. The consolidation of the institutions, the development of the merger review process, the establishment of criminal enforcement, a breathtaking array of measures. And I think of the role that, among others, Marcelo and his colleagues played as intermediaries between the institutions of enforcement and the larger society. The work with legislators, the work with journalists, the work with the larger public to persuade that these reforms were in the interest of the nation. This was not a credulous element of advocacy in which the association said anything that the agencies want, they should have. This was a critical thinking person's assessment based upon an examination of Brazil's experience and the broader experience of other nations. And I would assert to you that without that crucial element of advocacy, discussion, and analysis, perhaps the reforms that have become so important to putting Brazil's system in a higher orbit might not have happened. Perhaps they would have, but certainly this institution played a crucial role in advancing the process of understanding and reform. The third element, beyond the role of convener and the role of advocate, is the role of the communications channel. Again, in the video, you heard reference to the communications link. This is a classic multi-sided platform where different institutions are joined together by a common arena in which there can be a conversation and discussion. It is a vital path through which information about the agency, about the larger society, about the bar and business flows across a very important conduit. And that conduit provides a trusted, valuable mechanism for all sides of the platform to understand how the system functions. It is, in effect, hard to imagine how the system would work if that platform didn't exist, if that conduit for communication didn't take place. So again, it's not to say that the success in the future is assured. Hardly. This is a desperately hard business, and you're only as good as your last time on the field. So with the spirit that you saw reflected in the videos, the mark of the champion, that is the desire to get better and to improve over time, this is an occasion worth celebrating and to look forward to the great days to come. Thank you.